Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Classified Captures. Get ready for a heart-racing and illuminating experience that will have your hands clenching to your seats as we bring you carefully curated videos from all over the globe. Ready? Let's jump right into it. What do you see when you look at this? A buff and muscular crow, right? And that's exactly what the whole internet thought. Everyone was going crazy, wondering how the crow got so buff and how it was even able to fly with all that muscle. Some even came out to state that the footage had to be fake because there was no way any creature could look like that. I must admit, I thought so too, but turns out there's a logical explanation. That's no buff crow, that's your everyday crow sunbathing. The camera angle makes it look like it's flexing muscles, but according to researchers, it's just regulating its body temperature and maintaining feather health. The sun's warmth assists in removing parasites from their plumage or stimulates the production of vitamin D. What do you think? Is that what's really happening, or are the scientists trying to throw us off their secret experiments?
No, just put my boot next to it. Come clean in half, and then this next to it.
Imagine walking into this scene where an animal is buried in the ground with half its body on one side and the remaining on the other. You look around and find footprints. What's more, you dig out the animal and realize its gut sac is missing and there's no blood at the scene. What explanation would you give to it? Well, the individuals who stumbled upon this scene didn't know what to make of it. They took a closer look at the footprints again and realized that it was larger than your average human. Given this was in North Queensland, they concluded it was the handiwork of the Yahi. If you're not familiar with the term, it's the Australian version of Bigfoot. They assumed that they had disrupted and interrupted an earlier morning breakfast of the Yahi. That looks like a scene from a horror movie, does it not? As much as I'd love to state it is, it's not. My team and I spent days researching the footage and trying to find where it originated from. Try as we might, we found nothing. The conclusion was that this might be a CGI creation. That was at least until someone pointed out that it was definitely the detached tail of a southern leaf gecko. That piece of info excited us, and we tried to find footage of the detached tail of this creature. But try as we might, we found nothing. Does any of you have any experience with the southern leaf gecko? Is this really its detached tail, or are we dealing with something else? Please share your thoughts in the comment section. If you've always dreamt of having a home close to nature, then this next footage is for you. A homeowner residing near the woods had quite the surprise one morning when they heard a peculiar knocking sound on their glass window. Curious and maybe a bit baffled, they decided to investigate. To their astonishment, they discovered a kangaroo right outside their house, seemingly attempting to get their attention with its unconventional knocking. Well, when you live near the woods, you might just encounter some unexpected and furry neighbors who are up for a friendly chat, even if it's just a kangaroo saying, "G'day." This footage is straight out of a horror movie reminiscent of scenes from The Last of Us. An intrepid explorer stumbled upon an eerie tunnel in the depths of the woods. He'd been drawn there by distressing screams echoing from within the tunnel. As he ventured further into the dark abyss, an unsettling clicking sound pierced the silence, soon followed by a bone-chilling shriek that eerily resembled the terrifying clickers from the video game. With a growing sense of dread, the explorer made a hasty retreat, realizing that this was no ordinary place. What would you have done if you found yourself in his shoes? Nature's diversity never ceases to amaze. In this intriguing footage, we encounter a creature that defies conventional classification. With a head reminiscent of a fish like chameleon and a completely translucent body, this creature has us scratching our heads. It's unlike anything we typically see. Beyond its unconventional looks, it has 4 limbs, which is a development that sets it apart from most sea creatures. It even appears to have a long tail. The question that lingers is, what exactly are we witnessing here? If any of you know, please do tell us in the comments section. Our next footage comes from a hiker who was out there simply capturing the beauty of the great outdoors. Unbeknownst to him, he was about to capture something rather unexpected. As he explored, he noticed a mysterious dog-furred face peeking out from behind a tree. The humanoid-like features of this face made the hiker suspect it might be a Bigfoot. Looking at the footage, I understand where he's coming from. The creature appears to have noticed the hiker and hidden to avoid being spotted. This is typical behavior of a Bigfoot, and I believe the hiker might be onto something. Many who saw the footage, however, believe that's not the case. They think it might be a fake. What about you? What do you think? Deep within the lush woodlands of Portland, an unexpected mystery unfolds as 2 trail cameras, strategically placed in 2 different locations within the same area, capture what many believe to be the elusive and rare albino Bigfoot. The first photograph, though somewhat blurred due to the creature's rapid movement, still provides a glimpse of a striking white-furred figure bearing a striking resemblance to the legendary Bigfoot. As the images surfaced on the internet, they sparked a wildfire of intrigue and debate among the online community. Could this be the elusive albino Bigfoot that many have spoken of, or might there be an alternative explanation lurking in the shadows? Captured on a peaceful dock, the sight of a formidable creature sent shockwaves through the onlookers. The creature's fearsome visage presented itself with its mouth agape, revealing a jaw filled with razor-sharp teeth as it emitted a series of strange, pounding noises. This creature is none other than the formidable leopard seal. Leopard seals are renowned for their distinctive appearance and powerful appearance. With their sleek bodies and unique coat patterns, they bear an uncanny resemblance to the majestic big cats they're named after, while remaining firmly anchored in their aquatic habitat. However, the imposing display of their menacing dental arsenal serves as a stark reminder of their position as top predators in the frigid waters of the Southern Ocean. Before you watch the next clip, could you please hit the like button, subscribe, and even drop a comment if you haven't already? It goes a long way to make it possible to create more videos for you. Thank you for doing so. Anyway, moving back to the day's episode. In this cheeky snapshot, a white-tailed buck unintentionally finds itself in a rather compromising position, showcasing its rear end as an unwitting subject of the camera's lens. While it may induce a chuckle or two, it also highlights the delicate balance between observing wildlife and ensuring that we do so with the utmost sensitivity. Let this serve as a gentle reminder that as we peer into the private lives of these creatures, we should do so with a deep appreciation of their inherent beauty and a respectful distance that allows them to roam freely and undisturbed. No, I'm not joking. Animal privacy matters. How would you feel if aliens were watching you when you were bathing? Not so funny anymore, is it? In the deep woods, trail cams capture the untamed beauty of nature, but every now and then they venture into the mysterious, revealing imaginations, moments that spark our wildest fears. Revealing moments that spark our wildest imaginations. In one such snapshot, a creature unlike any other was unveiled. A bat, But not just any bat. This one stood on human-like legs and peered into the camera lens with glowing eyes that pierced the night. The person behind the camera, awestruck and perplexed, decided to share this bizarre encounter with the world. As the image spread across the web, viewers from all walks of life began to weigh in on the creature's identity. The prevailing theory that emerged was that this airy figure could be none other than the legendary Mothman. Known for haunting the rural town of Point Pleasant in West Virginia, the Mothman is a cryptid with an aura of foreboding, possessing large wings, a humanoid shape, and eyes that emit an eerie red glow. Deep in the rugged mountains, two adventurous hikers embark on a quest to soak in the beauty of nature. As they roamed through the wilderness, their eyes were drawn to an unexpected sight. There, on the slope of a distant mountain, nestled beneath the protective canopy of a towering tree, a mysterious figure came into view. This presence was unlike any other encountered in their mountainous escapades, with the posture resembling a crouched being, two arms reaching out to connect with the earth, and a shroud of fur enveloping its form. The possibilities seemed endless. Was this a lost and curious ape, a solitary bear going about its daily rituals, or perhaps even the elusive Bigfoot? The distance and scarcity of details left their questions unanswered. Imagine moving into a new home, excited about the fresh start, but soon your world takes a chilling turn. Such was the experience of a man who found himself at the center of an unexplainable and eerie encounter.
Hello?
In his newly acquired abode, a series of inexplicable events unfolded. One fateful day, while nestled in the comfort of his room, peculiar and unsettling sounds began to echo through the house. These sounds were not the ordinary creaks or groans of an old house. They were something far more disturbing. The source of the disturbance was the attic door. It was as if some unseen force was trying to gain access to what lay beyond. Being home alone at the time, he was concerned, so he went to check. When he got there, the knob of the door was moving frantically. He called out to check if anyone was there, but no one replied. So he opened the door, and just as he thought, no one but an empty stairway to the attic. As he stood there, the door slammed shut with a ferocity that defied natural explanations. Whatever entity lurked in the attic clearly did not appreciate his intrusion. The scared man ran out of the house as he should. What else could he have done? Setting up trail cameras to capture wildlife in their natural habitat can indeed lead to some fascinating discoveries. Yet, not all encounters with the inhabitants of the wilderness are pleasant, as one Trailcam operator found out. In this peculiar snapshot, the camera appears to have caught an unusual visitor, unlike any commonly found in the woods. The creature in question has pinkish, hairless skin, which immediately sets it apart from most animals. Its body exhibits an odd configuration with prominent folds, and its mouth forms a rather eerie and unsettling smile, revealing its teeth. What could this creature be, and why was it lurking in the vicinity of the Trailcam? These are questions we will never have answers to. This bear was captured in a neighborhood walking effortlessly on its two hind legs. When I saw this, I was shocked. The sight of a bear walking on its hind legs could certainly be a surprising and even eerie experience. It might seem like a scene from a sci-fi movie where animals evolve and start emulating human traits. However, in this particular case, a closer examination reveals that the bear's front limbs are not in the usual condition. One limb appears to be missing entirely, while the other seems to be lacking paws, which could indeed explain why the bear resorts to walking on its hind legs. Bears are generally quadrupled and prefer walking on all fours, but that doesn't mean they can't stand on their hind legs. They do that, but usually for a short while. This sighting, while unique and somewhat unsettling, is more likely the result of the bear's physical condition rather than it trying to imitate human bipedal locomotion. That's my opinion, though. What do you think? On that note, if you still haven't liked, commented, or subscribed to the channel yet, please do so now before I send that creature after you. On a more serious note, it really helps out a ton and gives us the opportunity to keep making these videos for you, so please do and share this with your friends and family. Thank you very much. Story time. Days prior, I decided to do a little office makeover, right? You know, dusting off the cobwebs, making things spick and span. And guess who decides to crash the party? Mr. House Centipede, or as science calls it, Scutigera coleoptrata. This little dude is like a tiny yellowish-gray acrobat with 15 pairs of legs. Quite the leg day enthusiast. Now, this globetrotter originally hails from the Mediterranean, but has this knack for making itself at home in our human abodes. Did my research, and turns out, despite its horror movie appearance, it's not out to get us. It's more of an insectivore snacking on fellow arthropods like insects and arachnids. And get this, it loves the indoor life, living its best life inside buildings. Sure, it might give you the heebie-jeebies with its speedy moves, but it's not looking for trouble. It's more of a run-for-cover kind of critter. Sting attempts? Rare, unless you decide to play catch with it. Even then, it's just a mild sting. Adult Scutigera coleoptrata can be 25 to 35 millimeters long, but you might stumble upon the Michael Jordan of centipedes, a bigger one. Now, here's the night owl part. They're nocturnal hunters, spiders, bedbugs, termites, cockroaches. It's like they're on a mission to keep our homes bug-free while we're catching disease. Mother Nature's got a quirky sense of humor, doesn't she? Well, it doesn't stop it from being a freaky experience if you ever encounter one. A family had a night out in the woods after enjoying a football match, all in chilling spirits, doing a little post-game cartwheel celebration. You know, the usual family stuff. Unbeknownst to them, there was an unexpected guest caught in the corner of the camera frame. Now, this guest wasn't your typical woodland creature. No, it was this gray figure, almost like another little girl, just silently observing the family fun. Creepy, right? It wasn't until they were going through the recordings later that the dad noticed this uninvited spectator. The dad, with a big heart and worried mind, decided to reach out to the authorities. Why? Well, he thought maybe there's a little lost child out there in the cold, and this gray figure might just be a kid in need. But was that really a little girl, or did they accidentally capture a ghostly observer in the woods? In a not-so-typical drone testing expedition, our adventurous operator decides to spice things up by taking the drone to uncharted waters. Little did they know, a not-so-amused alligator had plans to turn this testing session into a game of tag, but with a splash of danger. Oblivious to the human observer, this gator becomes the unexpected star of the show, locked in a visual battle with the drone. It decides to go all in, lunging at the hovering intruder like a formidable sea monster rising from the depths. However, the operator with ninja-like reflexes maneuvers the drone out of harm's way, turning the alligator's ambitious strike into a futile attempt. Defeated, but not deterred, the gator retreats, perhaps nursing a bruised ego, yet ready for another day of unexpected encounters. Talk about a close call in the wild waters. In the haunting depths of the night, a Trailcam unwittingly reveals a spine-chilling encounter. A shadowy figure, its eyes pools of abyssal darkness, fixates on what it might think is an otherworldly device with an intensity that sends shivers down the spine. Its neck is adorned with ominous folds, and with small ears perked, it resembles a spectral canine barking into the unknown. This bone-chilling apparition raises questions that echo in the silent, ominous night. What ghastly creature lurks in the depths of darkness, captivated by the mysteries of technology?
Okay, the last picture scared Steven so much that he is still recovering from fear. In the meantime, I will review the following pieces of footage. My name is Nate, and the next piece of footage I got will surprise you. Imagine you start reviewing the captures on your Trailcam and come across something like this. What will be the first thing to cross your mind? Most in the paranormal community who saw it believed it was not human. They stated it had to be a spirit or otherworldly being taking that form. I have reviewed the footage several times, and I can't tell if the eerie vibe I am getting from the image is because it's indeed eerie, or simply because it's captured in the dark and in low quality. Now that you've seen it too, what do you think? Some have said animals sense things we do not, and if you didn't believe that, perhaps this footage might change your mind. The footage starts off as your regular evening in the stable until the horse to the lower side of your screen starts feeling uneasy. After a few seconds, you realize why. A strange, almost translucent kind of creature pops up and does something to the horse. After the initial contact, the horse moves around confused and scared until the animal or whatever entity it is grabs it again. The footage ends shortly after that, and you are left wondering what just happened. Initially, I thought it was a wild animal or some predator of sorts, but the uploader states that it was no such thing and that it was something paranormal. What do you think? Paranormal, or is the individual just being paranoid? Share your thoughts with me in the comments section. Meet the fascinating and astonishing armadillo-girdled lizard. This peculiar creature is known for its remarkable defense mechanism. When it feels threatened, it curls up into a tight ball, resembling a miniature armored tank. The distinctive scales and spiky armor of the armadillo-girdled lizard not only make it look like a living pine cone, but also provide an effective shield against potential predators. Its unique appearance is a testament to the wondrous diversity found in the animal kingdom. Don't you think? Next, we have footage from a hiker who had a startling encounter with the mysterious creature behind a bush while exploring the woods. At first, the creature seemed like a typical forest animal due to its large size and dark fur. It could have been anything, from a wolf or bear to a deer or even a panther. However, what turned this encounter from curiosity to sheer terror was when the creature suddenly stood upright on two legs. This behavior is highly unusual for most animals, particularly in the way it is portrayed. The hiker, upon seeing the creature in its full glory, decided he had to run for safety. Once he was safe, he was left contemplating the possibility of having encountered something beyond the realm of natural or normal explanations. Could it have been a Bigfoot, or was it something even more dangerous? Share your thoughts with us. This dashcam footage captured by the driver is indeed eerie and unsettling. In the video, we see the driver traveling at high speed on the road when a person suddenly appears in the middle of the street. This mysterious figure is dressed in black, and the rest of their body appears ghostly or transparent. The driver, however, is unable to stop due to the speed at which he's driving and runs through it. What makes this incident even more chilling is that, despite the driver's apparent contact with the person on the road, the dashcam goes dark, and there is no sound of an impact, as if the car passed right through the figure without any physical interaction. The driver initially thought he was seeing things, but seeing the footage on the dashcam made him think otherwise. What would you have done in his place? Out on the open ocean, a group of fishermen embarked on a journey to catch fish. But what they encountered was far from their usual catch. In the footage captured during their sea adventure, a mysterious sight appeared in the water beside their boat. It looked like a head of long black hair floating alongside a pair of arms. At first, the fishermen believed they had stumbled upon a swimmer in distress, but as the creature submerged and revealed a shimmering fishtail, their shock and disbelief grew. The word mermaid crossed their minds, and for a good reason. Throughout history, mermaids have remained mythical and elusive creatures, existing mostly in the realm of folklore and stories. Yet, the footage challenges this age-old belief, leaving us to question the boundaries of what's real and what's imagined. Could this be a genuine encounter with a mermaid, or is there a more rational explanation behind this remarkable footage from the deep sea? The wonders of nature never cease to amaze, and fortunately for us, Rick Gracia, a subscriber of this page, was present to capture this rare footage for us. Take a look. We get a glimpse of two deer engaged in a fascinating display. At first glance, it might seem like they're participating in a dance competition. And wouldn't that be a sight to behold? Deer, busting out some moves in the wild. However, a closer look reveals that these two majestic creatures aren't engaging in a friendly dance-off. Instead, they're locked in a fierce battle. Male deer, or bucks, often engage in combat during mating season to establish dominance and win the attention of potential mates. It's like a natural, wild dance competition of strength and determination, where the best performer gets the girl. So, while it might not be a dance in the traditional sense, it's a magnificent and powerful display of the animal kingdom's unique rituals. Thanks for sharing, Rick. The year 2000 brought about an intriguing encounter for a man who was strolling along a path adjacent to the woods. While on his walk, he noticed something quite unusual happening in a grassy field ahead. It appeared as though dust was billowing into the air, suggesting that some mysterious creature was either digging or frolicking in the sand. Naturally, his curiosity got the best of him, prompting him to investigate further. As he ventured closer to the source of this strange disturbance, he was greeted by a sight that was nothing short of astonishing. There, amidst the bushes, lay a creature with a long tail and its head positioned downward. The creature was an impressive 4 meters in length, and the man managed to snap a photograph of this extraordinary encounter. The creature in the photograph remarkably resembled a dinosaur. This has stirred up the age-old debate about the existence of these magnificent prehistoric creatures. While dinosaurs have long been extinct, the mere possibility of their survival or resurgence is both exhilarating and, at the same time, somewhat frightening. Abandoned places can indeed be eerie and full of surprises, as demonstrated by this unsettling footage. In the video, as the person explores an abandoned tunnel, a mysterious creature makes an appearance from a hidden opening in the ground. Initially resembling a rat, it soon reveals its true nature as it descends back into the hole. The creature's body is long and slithery, more reminiscent of a snake than any typical tunnel-dwelling animal. Encounters like these certainly make you think twice about venturing into abandoned caves and tunnels. The variety of creatures that could be lurking there is indeed a reason to approach such locations with caution. Amid the bustling daytime traffic, something nightmarish happens. Take a look. An unfortunate driver found themselves ensnared in an intricate web of nearly imperceptible wires. These devious strands clung to the car, causing it to defy gravity and jerk upward suddenly, resulting in a violent collision that left the vehicle in ruins. However, the video abruptly concludes, leaving us in the dark about the subsequent events. The formidable strength and peril presented by these nearly invisible wires serve as a chilling reminder of the unforeseen dangers that can hide on the road. This incident vividly underscores the importance of remaining vigilant and cautious while driving, ensuring our safety when confronted with the unknown. Now check this out. The next clip is a jaw-dropping one that surfaced not too long ago. The footage reveals an enigmatic, shadowy figure suspended in the night sky. A moment caught on camera. The prevailing speculations suggest it might be a witch engaged in some form of flight. Yet the figure's leg positioning defies the conventional imagery of a witch on a broomstick. There's no visible sign of a broomstick in hand or any indication of riding one. This raises a perplexing question. How is such an act possible? What could this person or entity be? Is it the result of concealed strings orchestrating the levitation, or are witches intentionally making their presence conspicuous? We'd love to hear your perspective on this intriguing occurrence. Share it with us in the comments section below. You know, the sky holds many mysteries, and every once in a while we get sightings of unusual things up there. So here's this video, and it's quite a spectacle. 3 bright lights, forming a perfect triangle, just hanging in the sky and heading in a particular direction.
In this intriguing footage shared on Reddit, we are presented with an unsuspecting individual navigating the darkness of the night. As he progresses, an eerie and ethereal figure materializes, resembling wisps of smoke coalescing into the form of a human being. This otherworldly entity emerges from the rear of the walking man, who remains oblivious to its presence throughout. The sheer fact that this man felt no sensations or disturbances during this encounter adds an extra layer of intrigue to the enigma. What could this phenomena be? Is it a benevolent spirit, perhaps a guardian of some kind, accompanying him on his nocturnal journey? Or does it signify something far more ominous lurking in the shadows, unseen and unfelt? Tell us what you think. Now, we started today's episode with a Bigfoot, and we've had several others in the episode. But believe me when I tell you, this next one is equally as convincing as a Bigfoot sighting. This footage was taken by another explorer while going through the woods. Unlike the many other Bigfoots we have seen who were filmed from behind moving through the woods, this particular one was filmed from afar, and yet it could see that it had been discovered and was being filmed. I'm not particularly sure if he understands the concept, but to confuse the one looking in his direction and filming, he decided to stay in one place, hoping he might not get noticed or be interpreted to be something else. Cheeky, huh? Has any of you encountered a Bigfoot that behaved as such? Please tell us in the comments section. In this next footage, a woman ventured into the forest in search of edible plants. As she carefully explored the vegetation, she suddenly noticed an unusual movement within some nearby bushes. Without hesitation, she promptly fled from the scene. The source of this movement could have been a concealed animal, the rustling of leaves in the wind, or even an individual. Regardless, her quick departure was a wise choice, as the situation might have posed a potential danger. But if you were the one in this situation, what would you have done? If you said flee, well, that's a good decision, but there's more. After the footage was sent to us, we did some digging and realized the footage was from an individual filming themselves in the forest. This makes us think it might have all been planned, but then again, what do you think? The owner of this image believes that he might have captured a ghost of some sort. In the image, which was taken at an abandoned farm, you can see a hazy figure clad in white with its back turned to the camera. This can be as a result of the being moving, but take note of a few details. On the ground, in the snow, there appears to be car tire marks of a vehicle which the uploader states were left hours prior to the photo being taken. Wondering why I'm mentioning that detail? Well, the ground is clearly soft enough for a vehicle which passed by hours ago to be leaving tracks, but tell me why this man or being, or whatever it is, isn't leaving any footprints in the snow. Several possibilities could explain this phenomena. Some paranormal enthusiasts might interpret this as evidence of a ghostly apparition, which typically doesn't leave physical footprints. Others might suggest that this could be a result of atmospheric conditions or even photographic artifacts. Some others try to be logical and even state that perhaps he's not heavy enough, but I disagree. Ultimately, without further context or investigation, it's challenging to definitely conclude. What do you personally think, though? Pray tell us in the comments section. This footage indeed captures a remarkable and rare sight in the world of wildlife, an albino deer. Albino deer are a unique and captivating natural phenomenon characterized by their complete lack of pigmentation. These striking creatures possess a pristine white coat, pink eyes, nose, and hooves, setting them apart from their commonly colored counterparts. Albinism in deer is an exceptionally rare occurrence, with only a small fraction of deer exhibiting this genetic trait. Studies suggest that albino deer may appear at a rate of approximately 1 in every 30,000 deer, making them an extraordinary find for nature enthusiasts and wildlife observers. Encountering an albino deer in the wild is a breathtaking experience, offering a glimpse into the intricate and diverse world of nature. These unique creatures serve as a reminder of the incredible diversity that can be found within our planet's ecosystems, showcasing the beauty of the natural world. Have you ever seen one? Tell us about your experience in the comments section. In this video, we find ourselves in the eerie company of two peculiar figures, their long raven black hair cascading like a shroud over their unsettling presence. Their behavior is far from ordinary as they move in an uncanny manner on all fours, defying the conventions of humanity. What truly chills the soul is the horrifying scene they seem to be confronting. They appear to be feasting on the flesh of a dead deer. Speculation runs wild, with dark and disturbing theories emerging. Could it be a macabre gathering of lifeless bodies, hinting at a sinister appetite for human flesh? The term person eater hangs heavily in the air, conjuring images of an unspeakable horror that defies reason. What are your thoughts on this spine-tingling capture? Is it a glimpse into the shadows of the supernatural, or is there a more mundane explanation lurking just out of sight? Share your insights and theories in the comments, for this is a riddle that demands our collective curiosity. Do you believe aliens are real? Did you just have an iota of doubt even after the admission of the US government? Perhaps you should see this. This intriguing surveillance footage captured an unusual sight behind a parked car. Late at night, a humanoid figure emerges. The creature appears hairless and pale, with smaller arms positioned in front of its body. It looked around for a moment before retreating into the darkness. The appearance of this creature does indeed seem rather eerie and could be reminiscent of descriptions of extraterrestrial beings in some accounts. Simply put, it looks like an alien, and I do believe it's actually one. What's your take? The next footage was captured by a highway surveillance camera in the UK back in 2007. Take a look. The footage starts off looking painfully ordinary and blurry, but suddenly a mysterious creature emerges from one side of the road and swiftly dashes across to the other. This creature appeared to have 4 legs, long limbs, and a tail, but what set the paranormal bells ringing was its ghostly and ethereal appearance. What's even more bewildering is the lack of reaction from the passing cars. Normally, you'd expect drivers to stop or swerve to avoid an animal, but it appears that none of the drivers even registered the presence of this mysterious creature. To rule out any potential tampering or editing, experts conducted a thorough investigation and concluded that the footage was indeed authentic. So, what on earth is that? Where did it come from, and are our streets really safe? I know this sounds sensationalist, but think about it. Have you ever had one of those feelings when you knew someone was around? Those feelings you typically have in the shower when you have soap all over your face and a still voice tells you to open your eyes because someone is there. Typically there's no one, right? But what if there was someone? Well, take a look at this footage. This leopard had similar feelings, and when it turned around, there it was, an animal as large as it was. It went into instinct mode and jumped. And who can blame it? It didn't know what it was. A few seconds into its high and panicky jump, it realizes it's another cat in its family. If it were me, someone would definitely get the slipper. In our next footage, we have a group of children standing in front of a camera, engaged in their conversation and oblivious to the unfolding mystery behind them. Unbeknownst to these children, lurking in the bushes just behind them, a peculiar figure comes into view. This entity has a pallid complexion, a disproportionately large head, and a protruding belly. Oddly enough, it seems to have its back pressed against a tree. Its striking resemblance to our accepted norms of an extraterrestrial figure is rather unsettling. Initially unnoticed, the creature remains undiscovered until one of the children eventually turns and spots it. But here's the kicker. The rest of the children are indifferent about it. This can only mean 3 things. First, they didn't see the creature. Secondly, it's something they're used to seeing. And third, the footage is edited. Which of these is your best bet? Share with us in the comments section. Out in the woods, an individual had a chilling encounter with a mysterious creature that left them so frightened they struggled to capture a clear image. Nevertheless, let's take a closer look at the footage. The recording reveals massive feet, considerably larger than those of an average human, yet oddly reminiscent of the big guy. Yes, Bigfoot. As the creature moves behind the concealing veil of bushes, you can catch a glimpse of dark fur. Upon closer examination of this footage, opinions diverge widely. Some believe it to be the elusive Bigfoot, while others contend it might be a bear. A third perspective suggests this could be a well-orchestrated hoax. What do you think? In the world of the unexplained and eerie, there are moments frozen in time that give us pause for thought. This peculiar image is one of them, a snapshot captured during the depths of the night. In this enigmatic scene, a figure emerges from the darkness surrounding by an aura that defies earthly explanation. The most striking feature, or perhaps the lack thereof, is the absence of a head. It walks forward, defying the laws of living, leaving us to question its nature and origin. This spectral form appears almost ethereal, its limbs outstretched in an unsettling pose. It blurs the line between what's real and what's not, leaving us with a sense of ambiguity. What could this headless figure be? Can you tell? We'd really love to know. In this Trailcam image from eastern Kentucky, we're confronted with a rather pitiful sight. In the capture, we see a creature with a head reminiscent of a canid resembling a coyote. However, a closer examination reveals a troubling affliction. The creature appears to be suffering from a severe case of mange, a skin disease caused by microscopic mites. Mange is a distressing condition in which these minuscule parasites burrow into the host's skin, leading to the loss of fur and causing immense discomfort and suffering. Seeing a creature in such a state is truly heartbreaking, and it's impossible not to feel sympathy for this unfortunate animal. Unless, of course, you're its prey and you're happy that it won't be alive much longer. That's dark, I know, but the wild is no picnic. It's a hard place. Trailcams have indeed been a fascinating tool for capturing strange creatures in the forest, from Bigfoot to rakes, skinwalkers, siren heads, and more. The owner of this Trailcam had a terrifying surprise when they discovered these images. In the first photo, a goblin-like creature was standing facing the camera with a human-like body, but distinctive features like a large nose, long elf-like ears, and a bald head. In the second photo, it appeared to be the same creature, but on the other side of its body there were two arms, one on top of the other, and it had an elongated mouth. Is it really the same creature? Could it be that it has multiple limbs, but only one was picked up by the first Trailcam due to the camera angle? Well, we can't say for sure, but after a thorough inspection, it was determined that these creatures were likely not humans in costumes. This leaves us with the eerie possibility of these creatures being real. Either that or the footage is edited. What do you think? Next, we have footage from some young explorers who were exploring the enchanted forest of Tofino. It was all good until they had a perplexing encounter. Take a look. They managed to capture footage of a mysterious creature, but the creature had its back to the camera as it walked away. The footage primarily shows the creature's dark, furry back, partially concealed by the trees. What's truly intriguing is that this creature appears to be walking on two legs, as the video reveals. The hikers were astounded by the sight and even ventured closer to the location where they'd spotted the creature. Their surprise deepened when they discovered fresh tracks left by the creature. The prints bore a striking resemblance to human footprints, but were considerably much larger. Convinced that they hadn't encountered a bear, but rather a humanoid creature, they contemplated the possibility of it being a Bigfoot. Looking at the footage, I can see why they think that. I mean, do you know any other creature that could leave prints that human-like and large? If you do, please share it with us in the comments section. Until then, the conclusion is that that's a Bigfoot. Before you move on to the next clip, please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and even drop a comment in the comments section. It goes a long way to help us produce more videos for you. Thanks very much for doing so. It means a lot. Moving back to today's episode. The footage you are seeing on your screen right now was captured there. Just in case you're tempted to think that you're looking at an ape, you are not. The park doesn't even have apes, which should let you know how shocked the one who is recording was when the creature popped up. After critically reviewing the footage he recorded, he is very convinced that he's dealing with a Bigfoot, and I can't fault him for thinking so. I mean, look at the build of the creature along with its size. The way it moves is something you'd associate with the legendary Bigfoot. I'm convinced that there's no way that's a human in a costume. If it turns out to be human, well, I'll be very shocked and quite frankly impressed about how he was able to move so convincingly in the costume. The way it runs with its muscles is just so natural, but perhaps that's just me. What do you think? Next, we visit India, where a group of friends in India had a perplexing encounter one night when they came across a strange creature on their path. From the footage, we can see that this unusual entity had human-like limbs, but was somehow standing on all fours like an acrobat would. Its most striking features include a bald head and what appeared to be a beard on its chin. Or is that its head? It's hard to say with the way its body is set up. Obviously, the creature is unlike anything we've encountered, and its appearance undoubtedly raises many questions. While skeptics might suggest that it could be a hoax or a result of creative video editing, you can't deny that even if that was the case, it's still scary. But what do you think? Hoax or the real deal? Tell us in the comments section. Next is this peculiar security footage from Kentucky where a strange entity was spotted walking along the streets. The entity appears to be a body of white smoke taking on a humanoid shape. It moves unusually, crouching down to its waist and placing its arms on its knees while looking around as if to watch out for someone or something. What could it be? No one knows. All we have are theories and speculations. Some in the comments section of the original posts even joked with @ant7018, a user on YouTube, stating this: 300-pound woman films a scrawny husband sneaking home from the bar late at night. While it's humorous, it still leaves us with questions. What is that? Why is it there? Is it even real? If any of you can provide answers, please go ahead and do so in the comments section. We'll be reading. If you still haven't hit the like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment, could you do it now? Thanks very much, it means a lot and allows us to create more content like this. Moving on to the next clip. In the heart of the night, under a pitch-black canopy of trees, a brave group of adventurers embark on a quest. Their breath visible in the frigid air, their journey is shrouded in secrecy. The obscurity of the forest amplifying every sound and rustling leaf. Armed with matches, their tiny torches flicker like fragile embers, offering glimpses into the abyss. As they approach a sinister cave, its ominous mouth seems like a portal to a realm not meant for human eyes. The feeble light dances, revealing an eerie figure standing guard at the entrance. This mysterious sentinel, a creature with limbs akin to an unknown avian species, hesitates on the precipice of the unknown. Its intent remains a riddle concealed in its inky silhouette. With the aura of forbidden knowledge, the entity moves with calculated caution, perhaps to protect the secrets concealed within the cavern's ancient walls. There's an unspoken tension, a silent agreement between the explorers and this otherworldly gatekeeper. Is this entity the legendary cave goblin or the elusive Tommyknocker? Figures entwined with folklore's chilling narratives. Yes, I did go all Shakespeare on you, but what do you think this is? Tell us in the comments section, preferably in plain language. In this next video, captured by a motorcyclist in New York, we're presented with another potential Bigfoot sighting. The rider, with one hand steering his bike and the other holding a camera, records his journey. Along the road, there's a stretch of dense bushes where, concealed within the shadows, lurks a mysterious dark figure with a pair of luminous eyes. Despite the limited visibility due to the darkness, it's still possible to discern some features that bear resemblance to a Bigfoot-like creature. The details are far from crystal clear, leaving room for speculation. He believes he saw a Bigfoot, and we can't confirm or disprove it because of the quality of the image. So would you take his word for it and believe there's a Bigfoot moving in the background, or would you call it a hoax and pay no attention to it? Tell us in the comments section. And for our final video, we sign off with something rather peculiar and fascinating, a creature that appears to be a fusion of a fox and a bat. Its body exhibits both bat-like wings and fox-like features with distinctive and prominent orange hair on its back. But for its ability to fly, it could have been mistaken for a fox with mange. I know that's a bit of a stretch and an exaggeration, but look at that. Has any of you ever had an encounter with this creature? Please do share in the comments section below. This is one of my most beloved Trailcam captures. Not only is the capture unique and different, but it also features one creature that intrigues me the most among all creatures of the night. As much as I would like to tell you its name, I can't, and you know why. We're at the bonus segment of today's episode. Your task is simple. Name the exact species that beautiful animal is and add a rare fact. If you're able to, your name shall be immortalized among the few names of individuals on this channel who have succeeded in doing so. Start with bonus footage so we easily identify it. The most accurate description with the rarest fact will win a feature in our next video. All the best. Picture this unsettling scenario. You're at home, cozy and comfortable, when out of nowhere a seemingly deranged fox shows up right at your doorstep. At first, you think it's a simple matter of chasing it away, so you make an attempt to do just that, attempting to shut the door to safety. But here's where it gets bizarre. The fox doesn't back down. Now stop imagining and watch this. It's exactly what happened to this homeowner. This furry intruder kept trying to gnaw its way through the door but couldn't succeed. It then proceeds to look through the gap in the door, its eyes filled with an unsettling intensity. It's like something out of a horror story, with this fox seemingly possessed by some otherworldly force. You can't help but wonder, what on earth is wrong with this creature? Is it rabid, or is there something more sinister at play? I think it's rabid, but some members of our team think it's possessed. What about you? What do you think? Still on sick-looking animals, this next image also shows an almost similar creature, but this time I think there might be more to it than simply being a sick coyote. In this intriguing image, we're presented with a creature that bears some resemblance to the infamous chupacabra, an enigmatic entity often associated with the mysterious killings of livestock. The creature in question possesses long limbs and a pale complexion, which deviates from the typical appearance of a healthy coyote. While we can't definitely conclude that this is a chupacabra, it's worth noting that chupacabra sightings have been reported in that particular region, and the creature on screen fits the description. At least, that's what the individual who sent it in thinks. What about you? This creature spotted in Montana appears to be a truly unusual and unsettling entity. It appears to have characteristics resembling a mix of a wolf, a human, and a hyena. Its head is reminiscent of a wolf, the body is similar to a hyena, and its front limbs resemble those of a human. The creature's dark fur adds to its eerie and intimidating appearance, earning it comparisons to a nightmarish bloodhound. In paranormal circles, such a creature may often be referred to as a dogman. Some suggest it might be a werewolf, while others propose a more scientific explanation, such as a hybrid animal. Regardless of its origins, this creature certainly has an intimidating and fearsome presence that would deter anyone from attempting to approach or interact with it. Yes, it's scary, and while I want it to be very real, a second look makes me think it could all be CGI. What do you think? In the midst of a remote, snowy wilderness, a group of friends embark on a journey deep into the heart of the unknown, hoping for a thrill. As they venture deeper, amidst the eerie silence of this secluded realm, a mysterious figure comes into view. It's a being that seems to be plucked from the annals of cryptozoology, the Bigfoot. The infamous, hairy, and towering creature is running, its movements both swift and elusive. Adding to the intrigue, the video captures more than just a Bigfoot. Through the eerie green light of the camera, another mysterious figure of similar height and stature emerges. What do you make of this particular occurrence? Is it truly Bigfoot, or could there be an even stranger explanation for these chilling figures in the snow? The comment section awaits your thoughts and theories. Please head over and share them. In Mexico, a street surveillance camera captured an eerie and puzzling scene. In the video, a woman dressed in white emerges from the darkness into a well-lit area. She appears to be in distress, looking behind her and running while shouting for help. It seems something is pursuing her. However, when you inspect the area behind her, there is nothing visible. Upon closer examination, as the woman reaches the well-lit path, you can spot a smoky, human-like apparition at the end of the wall she emerged from. This entity seems to be following her, but as soon as she enters the well-lit area, it comes to a halt, standing in the darkness. This strange encounter, captured by the surveillance camera, is very strange. I'm sure if the camera hadn't captured this, no one would have believed her. For our next clip, we travel all the way to the Philippines. A farmer here had a mysterious encounter on his farm, capturing what appears to be a mythical creature known as a sibgin. For our Western audience, sibgins are blood-sucking creatures that roam the night, often moving backwards with their heads facing down. They're very popular in Filipino folklore and are believed to be pitch black and possess the ability to cloak themselves, making them elusive and eerie. In the footage, the farmer can be seen extending his hand toward the creature in an attempt to lure it closer. But as it approaches and he sees what it is, he throws pebbles at it and the creature then retreats. Before you scream animal abuse or harassment, these creatures are very deadly despite their small size. It's highly unusual to witness a sibgin out in broad daylight, adding to the intrigue and mystery surrounding these mythical creatures. For our final footage of the day, let's dissect this perplexing creature, a fusion of the centipede and a reptile, with the body as long as your to-do list and legs sprawling like a chaotic family reunion. It moves with the fluidity of a dance-off between water and mystery. Is it auditioning for the next fantasy blockbuster, or did Mother Nature get a bit too creative on this one? It's the ultimate mystery. Part-time centipede, part-time reptile, and full-time head-scratcher. Do you have answers to this enigma? Share them in the comments section. And that concludes today's episode. Thanks for staying with us. If you have any Trailcam footage you'd like the rest of the world to see, please send it over to us at classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll upload it in our next episode and give you the credit, unless you want to remain anonymous. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps us out a ton. See you in the next one.